Hello and welcome to this Swift tutorial. In this video I am going to show you how to implement a slider. So if you have a number and you have your slider, how to change the value, how to change that number by dragging the slider. A useful thing to know how to do. So if that is something you want to know how to do, just keep watching this video and I will show you how. So the first step to implementing a slider is of course opening xCode. So now is the time to find xCode and start a new project. Now we're going to operate with a single view application, and what you call it is your thing, but I'm just going to call it slider demo. Just make sure that the language selection is set to Swift and then click next. And I'm just going to save it on my desktop. And the first thing that we're going to do is go to main storyboard to just lay out how our app is going to look. So what I want our app to do is I want to be able to drag a slider, and then a label should update to show me what what value the slider is currently set at. So I need a label that's going to show me the value of the slider, and I need, of course, the slider. And I'm just going to lay it out like this, put in a placeholder, make the label bigger, and align the text in the center, and make the slider a bit bigger, and just so it looks more or less good. I'm going to put on some constraints, going to place it there, set the height and width equal to what it is now. Put some constraints on the slider also, like that, so it looks more or less great. Now this isn't the most beautiful design that you have ever seen, but it serves the purpose of displaying the value or showing you how to implement the slider. Now the slider value is going to be set at 50, the minimum value is going to be 0, and the maximum value is going to be 100. You can place any value there, any value you like. But for the sake of this tutorial, I would encourage you to just copy exactly what I'm doing. Now we're going to get the view controller so that we can fill it up with some code. I'm just going to make the layout like I want it to look, but of course you don't need to do this. This is just what I'm used to. Now we're going to import the label. And I'm just going to give it a simple name, label. And I'm going to import the slider as an action. So we are now installing a listener on the slider that screams, hey, the value is being changed. And then when we get that message from the slider, we can then adjust the label. So we set the slider to be an action. And what we are going to do is we're going to make every time the slider is being changed, the value of the slider is being changed, we want to update our label. So we set label.text is equal to sender.value. This might look very simple, but this is actually almost everything you need. Let's see, we just have to convert our value to a string, and let's try again, and this time it should work. Here we go, here is our application, and now as I slide, the value is being changed. But there's a lot of numbers behind there, so what I want to do is I want to get rid of them. So what I do first is I just convert the float, which is a value with a lot of decimals, and I convert it to an integer that can't have any decimals, and then I convert it to a string so that I can display it in my text label. So as you can see, now it all works beautifully. And just as a recap, just to recap what we did, we imported the label so that we can access the label. We imported the slider, we added an action or a listener to the slider, so every time our user drags a slider, it says, hey, I'm being changed, let's display a new value, and that's exactly what we're doing here. We're setting the text of the label equal to the value of the slider, which we first convert to an integer in order to remove the decimals, and then we convert it to a string text so that we're able to display it in the label. So this is really all there's to it. If you enjoyed this tutorial, make sure that you click the subscribe button so that you stay tuned for new tutorials, and then I will see you back in the next video. Thank you for watching.